welcome to Say Like a Champ, episode 207. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Stuart. What's up, SLAC family? What's going on out there, guys?
What it do? And yes, we want to start off the show real quick by saying a big happy birthday to our boy Strizzy. He's here on his birthday grinding. Can't miss it Tuesday, but shout out to you, my brother. Happy birthday from me and from all the SLAC fam. As y'all are joining in, make sure y'all let him know what's good. So, hey, fam.
Thank you, man. You know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Missing a Tuesday for nothing. You know what I mean? So either we SLAC express it or whatever it is. You know I was going to be here. So appreciate all the birthday love. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting a lot of birthday wishes today. So, but I'm exactly where I want to be. You know what I'm saying? So here we are.
That's what's up. Well, yes, we definitely appreciate it. We got a couple people jumping in on the show already. We got Pops. Good evening.
What's up, Pops?
Grace, she says happy birthday, Streets.
Thanks, Grace. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I feel like it came way too fast. Honestly, swear to God, I feel like we just did this not too long ago last year. You know what I'm saying? When everyone was just happy birthday and stuff. So, man, this is just so quick, man. It's so fast.
I know. I feel like, the more time goes by, like the faster it goes, man. And we just be trying to hold on, and really pay attention to what's going on because it goes so fast. But that's what's up. Definitely want to thank you guys for being here with us. And again, a big happy birthday to you, my brother. We're going to do our normal thing, but we want you guys to be a part of the show. So don't be afraid to hit that like button and don't be afraid to comment on the show as well. We got Unc. Hello from Texas. What up, Unc? And we're going to go ahead and get this thing popping. I'm going to bring up my graphics. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to jump to that in a minute, but this first story is kind of scandalous, man. We're going to go ahead and get into our first topic of the day.
What's up next?
Oh, let's check it out, man, real quick.
Tuned to NFL talk. Let's get it.
Oh, man. Okay, so we got to jump in on this story that really broke earlier this week, and it is just kind of crazy. We have Michael Orr, who is basically suing the family that quote-unquote adopted him. And it turns out, I guess, earlier this year, he found out that this family has never actually adopted him, and they actually just had like a conservatorship, and that gave them a chance to, I can never say that word, but that gave them a chance to basically like make the movie deals and agree to use his rights without him getting money from it. So if you guys don't know the story of The Blind Side, it is a true story, but it's basically about this family that kind of took in this football player and adopted him as part of their family and kind of helped him from avoiding like being on the streets and things like that. So turns out it was all based on what Michael Orr now himself is saying is a lie.
Yeah, man, it's actually really crazy. You know what I mean? And as you know too, like Michael Orr too, he has like a disability as well, you know what I mean, in regards to kind of like a mental disability, right? So like I don't want to say that he's not all there, but when it comes to learning and picking things up, like I don't want to say normal human being would, but y'all know what I'm basically trying to say, you know what I mean? He's a little slower. Yeah, a little slower than others. So, I unfortunately, man, you see stuff like this happen all the time. So honestly, I wholeheartedly believe it. You know what I mean? Obviously, records will indicate, whether or not they did or did not adopt him. And I'm guessing if you found out they didn't. So for them to take advantage of a kid at the time, you know what I mean, which makes things even worse. You know what I mean? I definitely hope that they get everything that's coming to them. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that negatively. You know what I'm saying? I swear to God, I do. I definitely do.
Yeah, it's crazy to see. I'm interested to see how this continues to unravel. If he wins his lawsuit against the family, they're claiming that they didn't make money off of the movie, but they do have careers based on I think she's a motivational speaker, and they've kind of built part of their careers also off of being like the family from The Blind Side.
Exactly.
But I can't believe that that's coming out. But it's one of those things, right, where like some things sound too good to be true. And unfortunately, this was kind of that situation. The crazy thing is, like, he was already an All-American football player, like, before this adoption happened. He was already, like, I think 17, going on 18 years old. And, like, the saddest part to me about it is, like, he really did like come into that family because he wanted to be a part of their family. And like, I have no doubt that they did like treat him well, or, you know, that was nice for him, but
Right.
they also had their ulterior motives clearly. And it's, you know, it's sad that it's coming out then and now. But Michael Orr did go on to have, you know, a successful professional career. He is retired now, and he has his own family now and everything like that. So I just want to say, you know, props to him, and I feel for him going through that and kind of unraveling this truth that he's been learning, I guess, like earlier this year. Basically, it's been coming out. So
definitely,
it's crazy.
That's
Yeah, Pop says, I knew the Blandside family was screwing him over, lied about his mental health in the movie. Yeah, and they did, you know, Hollywood dramatized it. So again, I'm curious to see, like, Sandra Bullock, like, is she going to come out and say something like, I know she was just presented the script and she's like, oh, cool. But it's like, I remember that family was like around and like that lady like standing next to Sandra Bullock and stuff. So,
well, of course.
Yeah,
I mean, like, you know, at the end of the day, the writers have to, you know, hear the story. They'll dramatize it, of course. But you know they were around. You know they were there. You know they were able to see probably more than what, you know, everybody else would see. So I think it would be actually pretty cool if Sandra Bullock came out a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe even helped him in his lawsuit. You know what I mean? Like, because that's a crappy situation. You know what I mean?
I know, and these people were ready to run with the story and make the movie, but it's like, dang, they didn't do no background check. Like, oh, is he actually adopted? Like, things like
right?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hunk says, yeah, wow, that's sleazy. But basically they never actually adopted him. They tricked him into signing paperwork that gave them like the rights to his name and his story.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
It works in the NCAA.
Yeah, exactly. Like, dang. But that's rough, man. That's really rough. I definitely feel for him. Pops and Unc also both dropped a happy birthday for you.
I know, I saw that. Thank you both. I appreciate it.
Now moving on to some other news. We have Dalvin Cook signing with the Jets officially. I think it's like around $8 million, $8.5 million, which is, you know, less than what the franchise tag was going to be or what the top running backs are going to get. I'm a little bit surprised by that, knowing that it's been this long, but maybe he didn't have any other suitors. But what did you kind of think of him ultimately landing with the Jets and for that number?
I think it's great for him. You know what I mean? I think considering the fact that, you know, most running backs right now aren't getting, you know, longer term deals, so he gets it for, was it 8.6 million, something like that, 8 million or something like that. I think it's great for him. I think it's also great for the Jets. Dalvin Cook, I mean, when he's healthy, he's great. You know what I mean? I think it's going to play a bigger role, but I think also with them coming in and having kind of the running backs that they have, he won't have to be the bell cow that he's normally been in Minnesota. So I think as long as he's healthy and can continue playing well and run the ball well, I actually think it's actually a pretty good a good thing for him. You know what I mean? They have their quarterback. They've got Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is used to having two good running backs behind him. You know what I mean? But back when he had in Green Bay. So I think if he couldn't go, I think the Bills would have been a better fit for him, if I'm being honest. But I think Jets probably the next best thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the Jets is awesome place for him, and it kind of helps their youngster Hall too, because he got activated today. It does help them both because they're both, you know, very talented, but they both, you know, have had injury issues already. So maybe that tandem can be really dangerous. I think that's like a really great 1-2 punch. I don't even know who's 1 and 2, depending on how Hall comes back. So
true. He's coming back from a pretty crappy injury, that's for sure.
Yeah. So we'll see what's up with that. But the Jets are also on Hard Knocks. I haven't watched Hard Knocks. I'm like the downest on Hard Knocks I've been like in forever, honestly.
I haven't watched one episode yet. And every time I open up Max, you know what I'm saying, I see it and I look at it.
Yeah.
And I just keep scrolling, dog. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I ain't done it yet.
Yeah, I'm kind of I don't know. I'm usually like flocking to Hard Knocks or at least watching the very first episode and getting excited and seeing what's going on. But yeah. So I think that's what's up. We'll continue to move along with another signing that Pops was just mentioning, another running back signing. We got Ezekiel Elliott going to the Patriots. I think that this is a good landing spot for him. I can see him like having a lot of touchdowns, but not a lot of yards, you know, but just them using him kind of in that goal line situation. Again, like the Jerome Bettis type of thing is perfect for him. But yeah, he got $3 million a contract for the 1 year, and then with incentives up to 5. So Pop's kind of reporting on that one. What do you think about the landing spot though for Zeke?
Honestly, it sucks. I've I've never really been much of a Cowboy fan, but I've always really liked Ezekiel Elliott. You know what I mean? I think that they, I don't want to say they ran him into the ground essentially because that's he was so good. You know what I mean? Like he feed me. You know what I mean? So like I get it. So I really would have wished they would have held on to him to use them the exact same way they used them last year, goal line stuff, right? I think he had every single last one of his touchdowns except for one came within 6 yards. You know what I mean? Like they were all really.
It was just the money issue. So you would have been okay if they brought him back after they cut him, or just like
for less money.
Figure it out
for less money. Yeah, I mean, Patriots are only giving him $3 million, $5 million with incentives, like Pop said. So like, I don't know if they were going to give him much less than that. If they're going to give him way less than that, then yeah, go get your money, dog. Like, but it just kind of sucks. Because the reason why I don't like it is because I feel like the Patriots are going to be worse this year again. Like I don't think they're going to be much better, and I feel a lot of times too. You know what I mean? I just feel like a lot of times like this might be like where Zeke goes, and after this, his career just continues to go down. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want that for him. I want him to go somewhere where like even if you were to go to the Bills, I'd be like, hell yeah, that's a great spot for you. You know what I mean? I'm a little worried about him at the Bills with that offense, as it's been really bad ever since Tom Brady left. The offense has not been good at all. So, but you're right. He's not going to be the bell cow for him. He's not going to get the 225 touches. You know what I mean, that he used to getting, and so maybe it'll be different. But I don't know. I feel like right now it's like players are going to New England to. I don't want to say to die, but to like almost retire. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it's been lately. So. And I enjoy seeing Zeke in the league, man. So I don't know, but who knows? Maybe they can figure something out. Maybe they'll start trusting Mac Jones more. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm glad he found a job though. That's most important. Like he's on the team. We get to see him play next year. I just hope I'm wrong.
I feel you. I hope you're wrong too. It is sad because it's like you would think he'd be like a Cowboy for life, right? And if he's gonna have such a limited role. Which he probably won't have a big role up there. Like he could have, like you said, done that with the Cowboys. But it'll be interesting to see him move on. It's cool to see him work with Bill Belichick. He'll be smart about how they use him. So I think it could be a good thing. But again, we'll see.
Didn't he have like 12?
What's that?
Didn't he have like 12 plus touchdowns last year? I'm like, so I'm like, I mean, like when you get there, man, he's so I don't know. Like he's
still good in the short yardage.
Yeah, exactly. They could have kept him.
It is crazy though too that like this is only he's going into his 7th year. So he had 6 years with the Cowboys. Like it feels like it went fast, but it also feels like he's been around forever too. So I don't really know. I guess for a running back these days, that's good.
True that.
Unk says, wow, that's a huge drop. Running backs are used and thrown aside to forget for sure. Just like Todd Gurley, Sony Michel, like all these guys that are basically like, if you get to that second contract, you're good, but you're probably not going to get to that third. By then, you're just like a veteran, So that's crazy. Also, some Cowboys news though. We do have Zach Martin got re-signed. He was actually holding out. And that's a big part of the Cowboys' offensive line right there.
Definitely.
He's been an All-Pro in 6 seasons out of his 7 seasons, I think, or maybe all 6. Maybe he's only going into his 7th as well. So that's huge. They kind of renegotiated him up to now being the 3rd highest paid guard in the league, which is pretty legit. He didn't get top dollar, but still secured his future with the Cowboys. So I'm definitely glad that they handled that business for sure. It's really more things like that going on. I did want to ask you though, did you see anybody in preseason action this weekend that you kind of thought stood out to you at all?
Well, number one, I'd say the Bears and Justin Fields and DJ Moore. I think his first 2 passes both went for touchdowns. You know what I mean? And Fields. So the passes look great. DJ Moore looked great. That's one of the biggest things. It was like, cool, you got your number 1 receiver. They still, they also have Chase Poole too as well. But DJ is obviously the clear number 1 as he was in Carolina. So I saw that. I watched a lot of that game, and they definitely looked good until the starters went out. I actually really, it's funny because we got our butts handed to us, but I really liked what I saw in Bryce Young in regards to just his decision making. Right, the offensive line did not hold up. So at first I was a little annoyed, you know what I mean? So I was like, come on, guys. Like,
give him a chance.
Yeah, exactly. But no interceptions. Went 4 for 6. One thing that a lot of quarterbacks don't do or learn right away is, when a play is falling apart, either throw it away or get down. And they put themselves in bad situations. And instead of taking a sack, he just immediately hit the ground like there's nothing there. Hit the ground, didn't get hurt or anything like that. And I think that's something that he needs to learn. Or I'm glad that he already knows because he's such a small guy. So one of my biggest fears is him getting clobbered by some of these big defensive linemen or linebackers. You know what I mean? So I like what I saw from him. Loved what I saw from Chark and Adam Thielen, and where he placed the balls where only they could get it. So I see a lot of promise in him. So I'm happy about that. But we did get our butts handed to us against the Jets in preseason. But it's preseason game 1, and on the brighter side, everything's new. Almost our entire team is new. The whole coaching staff is new. Right. So I think if we can put things together by like week 4, week 5, I think we'll be all right.
That's what's up. No, I did like what I saw out of them too, because it's all about the future. Just kind of seeing what's out there. At the end of the game, the actual score result doesn't really matter too much.
Man.
Oh, go ahead.
Real quick too, Anthony Richardson for the Colts, man, he looked good, bro. I think he had two passes dropped. You know what I'm saying? I think by his receivers that were like touchdowns. And I think he actually looked good. I think he had that one interception early, or maybe I think it was an interception, I think, but he looked really, really good though.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I had him on there too. That was one that he looked good for me, and he actually was named the Colts starter officially for week 1 today. Yep. So congrats to him beating out the veteran Gardner Minshew on that one. I figured as much though. It's like if you're gonna draft a guy and you're going for the talent and the athleticism, you gotta just put him out there.
Exactly.
He's gonna have to figure it out. So
Plus, who's he gonna learn behind? Who else is there? You know what I mean? Like, granted, yes, you can learn from a veteran, but like, who's there that's like the dude? He's not playing behind Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? Like, so just get him out there. Richardson, but man, his passes were they were man. Anyone who was talking about his accuracy, he was on the money. If anything, his receivers need to give up some cash because they were dropping his passes like crazy, man. He looked great.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Pops liked it on that one. He said another good call. Richardson is amazing already. He's going to be really fun to watch. I definitely think so. And another guy, though, I got to sneak this in there. Stetson Bennett looked pretty sharp in his debut for the Rams. I know he didn't even get the start technically. He went in, in like second string for preseason, which is really not, too high up there, but he looked pretty sharp. He did his thing. He got his throws out there, so that was kind of interesting. And it's cool he was playing in the same building that he played his last college game in. So.
For sure. It's great for him too, because even if he doesn't make that Rams team, he's still showing out for other teams, you know what I mean? So I'm glad he not only got his playing time, but did well as well.
Yeah. And I really do think, I don't know, I could be wrong and I hope I'm wrong, but Matthew Stafford last year, man, he his body was not holding up very well. I could see Stetson Bennett
look good.
Right. So I could see Stetson Bennett kind of sneaking in, and he could be kind of like a Brock Purdy guy, like where it's like, not necessarily like the success that he had right away, but if he's in the system, maybe he can, make it work and keep things moving. So
Sean McVay is so good offensively. He's another coach who just like Shanahan came from the same people, you know what I mean? So if anybody can get the most out of him, it's him. But I agree with you, man. Like when Matthew Stafford was healthy last year, he didn't look good. I think he got that Super Bowl. He's just kind of chilling now.
He's like, man, I took all that beating in Detroit. I did all that work. So
I know.
It's time. It's glory days now. All right, let me jump into the comments real quick before we close things out. We want to welcome in Kelly. She says hello from San Diego. Welcome to the show. Thank you for jumping on. We appreciate you, and we hope that you're being safe and enjoying your time out of town. Also, we have Anthony Weston in the building. What's good, Anthony? Appreciate you. He said Bryce Young could use DJ Morey, you think? Yeah, for sure. It's too bad they had to give him up. I know that's your boy. I know that one's still that's gonna sting for a while.
Yeah, definitely.
But Pops also agrees with you about your boy. He says he looked cool making decisions and took one big hit and got up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he's gonna be okay. Anthony West says Chiefs and Chris Jones need to get a deal done. That's for sure. We'll be seeing, but there's not too many signings left to be made, honestly. And it's like time now where it's only like really if you're a veteran, you can kind of just come in at this point. But anybody else, you're gonna be behind the 8 ball. So we'll see. Pops likes the Chiefs' young receivers. Unc asks is Stafford retiring. I don't think so, but I think it wasn't gonna be far off. You know, I don't know how much he has left in the tank. Andrew Luck definitely not coming back. And then, where's Michael Orr from? Michael Orr actually played for Mississippi State. Ole Miss. He's an Ole Miss rebel. And Pops would mention though he had no mental issues. Family has admitted such in a book and per court documents that were published. And yeah, that is worse. He had with the movie is that they portrayed him to have all kinds of things. So
that makes it even worse.
Yeah, that's crazy. But definitely a sad story. Another sad story that we did want to really quick say is rest in peace to Alex Collins.
Yeah.
He was definitely a standout at Arkansas, one of only 5 SEC players to ever rush for 1,000 yards 3 years in a row. Got to play for the Ravens and the Seahawks in the league, but he passed away suddenly in a motorcycle accident the other day. So we definitely wanted to just say rest in peace.
Crazy. It was 28.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Very young. But definitely kind of a bright person and a person that a lot of people, were very fond of. So it's sad to see that.
Yeah, I did see that.
Did you guys hear? Yeah, so I did see that too. That would have been crazy. That would have been cool for Phillip Rivers to have that opportunity, though.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it might have been like not worth it though, too. You never know if he would have been really ready, but that would have been.
I know. I feel like teams. It sounds cool and all, but like you gotta be careful with that because then like you might start seeing that stuff a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna sign this dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's like we don't need to know. Like, if it didn't happen, you know what I'm saying? We don't need to know at this point.
Exactly.
Oh, that's what's up. All right, we're gonna keep it moving though. Let's go ahead and go to our next topic. All right, NBA talk. Definitely got to start off with James Harden the other day emphatically announcing that Daryl Morey is a liar and that he will not be a part of any organization that Daryl Morey is a part of. And this comes after basically a couple days after the Sixers basically said they're going to stop trade talks for James Harden and go ahead and just keep him and make it work and run it back with him, even though they agreed that they would work out a trade if he had opted back into his contract. So, Strizzy, what did you think of the James Harden and his comments?
I can't even say the trio because it ain't really been Russell, but like, Kyrie, KD, and James Harden over the last couple of years have been divas and a half, bro. Like you have a contract, right? Like he was probably going to opt into his contract regardless because he's not going to go anywhere else and make $48 million. Then
right.
For a year or whatever. Like he ain't been that good. He had one big highlight game in the playoffs when everyone was like, "Oh snap, is the old James Harden back?" And then he went right back to being who we all know him to be, right? And like to come out and just to be like, "Oh, I'll never like that." He's been your dude, right? Like, he was your dude in Houston. He brought you over there in Philly because you wanted to trade out of New Jersey, so he went out there and got you. And now all of a sudden he's a liar. Like, dog,
right.
Like you're not easy to move. Your contract is huge. You know what I'm saying? Like you're getting older. You're slower. Like I'm sorry, you're just not the same dude you were when you were playing for D'Antoni in Houston. So I'm pretty sure he's trying to move him, but it just ain't working. They're just not getting the value that they think they can get for him. So I think I think James honestly is doing the exact same thing that he did in Houston. To be moved is to be annoying as hell and to be basically not a team player
Right.
that'll force their hand to move them for whatever. So I think it's kind of BS. And at this point in time, I'm usually on the side of the players when it comes to like their contracts. But I think the NBA needs to do something about not necessarily these fully guaranteed contracts because these dudes make so much money, but like there really has to be something that in the thing that says like we will pay you your contract guaranteed as long as you're playing games. You know what I'm saying? Like if he's gonna sit out, if he's gonna sit out, why would we have to pay you for that? You're not living up to your end of the deal. Why should we have to live up to ours? You know what I'm saying? But then it gets court sloppy and all that stuff like that. But I just get rid of him. Try to get what you can for him. Obviously, you can't get rid of him for nothing because his contract's so big. But like, I feel like this type of stuff like brings your stock down negatively. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm another team, why would I want James Harden? Everywhere he goes, he wants out and makes it a big deal publicly after a year or two. Like, there's no way in heck I want somebody like that on my team. I just wouldn't.
Yeah, I feel you. And I agree. I'm loving some of these comments. I want to jump to them real quick. Anthony West says, I don't know what he's been told by the GM, but at what point is it the player?
Yeah.
Sure, especially like you alluded to, Strizzy, like Daryl Morey's his guy. Like that's the whole, they followed each other around. So Pop says Harden has more leverage than experts are saying because he can completely kill teams' chemistry. And that is so true. Like that is his leverage. That's what he's doing. Like that's what this kind of stunt type of thing is like he's like, I'm just gonna say it publicly, and then that way they'll have to get rid of me. So pretty crazy. Says, why do these guys assume it's not okay to honor your contracts? I agree. It's like they, especially with him, he opted in. So if the worst thing that happens is you get your $48 million and you have to play in Philadelphia one more year, like just do it then. That's
exactly.
I mean, it's gonna be worth it.
You have a much better coach, in my opinion. I really don't think much of Doc Rivers as a coach, at least not anymore. And so I think you've got a better coach. He's going to be better with them defensively. Like you still have a legit chance to be competitive in the East on that team. Figure it out.
Yeah, that's real.
If Miami can beat Boston with what they got, there's no reason 76ers should be able to beat Boston too.
Definitely. I know, and that's why it's like if they do want to run it back, that might be their best chance based on what they're being offered. So, and also apparently, Embiid took all of his Sixers related stuff off of his social media. But we'll see if that what that if that's just general dissent or if that's just a coincidence. Unk says Embiid asked for a trade as well. I don't think that he has, or at least we haven't heard of that. But Pops is saying, please demand a trade too. Whenever we get back, we'll be better than we are. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Unk says, I can't feel bad for guys making millions just to play basketball. I agree.
Exactly.
And Joel Embiid did post something, and he took all his 76er stuff down.
Man, get rid of them both and do exactly what the Oklahoma City Thunder did. Like that team right now looks great. They looked so good last year without Chet, and man, I'm telling you, Chet's gonna be their difference maker, dog. Like I loved what I saw from that kid in summer league. You still got Shai coming back, who had an MVP season. If the Thunder were a little bit better, you know what I mean? Like he looked phenomenal. But I think that team's gonna be something to mess with. They still have a bunch of first round picks for the future. Like, oh,
they are going to be good. They are fun to watch.
Unload both of them. Get them both out of there and figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll be all right.
Yeah, for sure. Says, I'm not complaining, but I can verify soldiers are not compensated millions while deployed to combat zones. That's for sure.
Right.
Perspective. Mom says, sorry I'm late. Love you guys. Oh, no worries. Appreciate you dropping in. Definitely appreciate you being here and being a part of the show.
Always.
We love you too. So interesting last kind of story that we have though for ESPN, speaking of Doc Rivers, but really wanted to lead with Doris Burke here. So ESPN, has finally gotten rid of Van Gundy and Mark Jackson. They're both gone. And I never really liked them like listening to them banter back and forth during the NBA. I think Mike Breen is good though as like a lead commentator.
Yeah.
But the new top team is going to be Doris Burke and Doc Rivers alongside Mike Breen. Doc Rivers has a scratchy voice, so I don't know how that's going to work for the announcing. He's definitely knowledgeable about the game, but maybe he'll do better in this role than he has these last couple of years coaching. But what do you think of this pairing for ESPN basketball?
Same way you kind of feel. I think Doris Burke is always fun to listen to. Like, she's
OG.
You know what I mean? Like, and everybody loves her. You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like the interviews are going to be cool. They're going to be great as they always have been, or actually probably not even doing anymore. But, like, I'm with you. Like, Doc's voice is so deep. It's so scratchy. Like, I feel like he's going to be, like, taking deep breaths in between these commentator roles. Like, I just don't know if he'll be that great at it. But who knows? You know what I'm saying? We'll see what he does.
Yeah. Anthony reminds us that Doc used to do it for TNT. That's true, but I don't know if his voice is going to hold up. But maybe if it's only a couple games a week,
True. True.
We'll see. Unlike Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame speech, I actually didn't see the speech, but I did see he brought his dad up on stage with him, which is really pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And also Paul Gasol thanked Kobe during his speech. Yeah, he's talked numerous times about how Kobe basically changed his career, like, and ignited him, like, to get his full potential out there, which is, what Kobe strived to do with a lot of, in his own way.
Yeah.
But definitely really cool for Paul Gasol. They're gonna when they retire his number this year, it's gonna go next to Kobe's 2 numbers. So that's cool. But that's all we really have for basketball. Let's see what's Pop says. Jackson duo love Doris, but Doc's voice is scratchy.
Yeah, exactly how I feel. Pops.
We'll see if it's not too bad to listen to. But honestly, I wouldn't mind if Doc got bumped like halfway through the season for Hubie Brown. Like, move him up, because I love listening to Hubie Brown, but they always put him on like the 3rd or 4th. Like they put him on like the alternate games. And I'm like, dude, he should be on the top because he's smart. Like he breaks down the game like so you can understand it really well. So I love him. But also though basketball related, not NBA talk, but kind of NBA talk. We do have the Commissioner's Cup that's going on tonight. Actually, I think it just started at 6-2 when we started, but it's the Aces versus the Liberty, and this is the WNBA's version of their like in-season playoff. And it's kind of cool that they kind of started it, and now the NBA is biting their idea a couple years later. So I just thought I would definitely mention that. I'm going for the Aces. I think they're going to take everything.
Yeah, me too. I got them as well. The NBA also released the in-season tournament schedule too. So
I did see that. So they designated which games are going to contribute to the schedule.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So they got the dates. They got the dates down there and who and when they're going to play each other. So. That's out there too.
I wonder, man, it's gonna be very interesting. We'll definitely talk about it week to week as we go, but I wonder like if they're gonna put a different thing like on the court when it's that, or like if they're gonna do any kind of thing different to kind of designate it, or like honestly too, if the teams are even gonna care. Like, I think maybe the teams will just play it normal, but if they get to the end, then they'll care.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yep.
Bob says, hey, in-season tournaments. Anthony West says Doc was paired with Hubie Brown when he was a Dang, that's crazy. See? Anthony Weston got all the information.
I know.
We appreciate you, my brother.
Stay on.
All right, we're going to keep this thing moving. Not too many more topics to really get into, but definitely wanted to hit on this one. As we know, NFL preseason is back, and we know college football is not too far away. It will be popping off Labor Day weekend. The first AP polls came out, and we had the Georgia Bulldogs on top again, followed closely by Michigan, Michigan has 2 dynamic running backs. Like, they're going to be really gangster this year, even though they're going to be missing their coach for the first 4 games. That's not going to really matter. Then we have Ohio State, Alabama, LSU, USC out there holding it down for their last tour in the Pac-12, followed by Penn State, Florida State back up there, Clemson, and Washington. So definitely even just seeing the AP polls come out gets me excited for college football. Like that first Saturday when there's like 60 games on.
I know.
It's like such a dream. But But what are you thinking about the ratings and how you think your Sooners are going to do this year?
I mean, I'll be completely honest. I have no hope for the Sooners as of right now. I feel like they're kind of a lost team right now. They're trying to figure things out. You know what I mean? New coach last year, they kind of lost everything. I think with Lincoln Riley moving over to USC, I think that kind of really hurt recruiting as well. But I think with getting I think right now their biggest thing right now is let's just get through this. We got the SEC coming soon in another next 2 years, I think, in 2025. So I think that's where their focus primarily is now. They'll try to win because they've always been one of the top schools, college football. But I just feel like they're just kind of I think they're like 22nd or something like that, or 20th right now or something like that.
Probably their lowest starting preseason poll like in a minute.
Might be ever, dog. You know what I mean? Like school history. But I think Georgia right now is still like the team to beat. I think Kirby Smart has proven that his system is really, really working. Players want to go there. And he's proven that he doesn't need a top recruited quarterback to do it. They back-to-back championships. So I still think if there's the win. USC is my dark horse this year. I don't know why. I just feel like they had a really good season last year. I think they have a really good chance at doing well this upcoming season. Be really tough for them to be able to beat a team like Georgia, probably even Bama. But they're kind of my dark horse team for this upcoming season. I think they're going to be doing a lot better, especially with Caleb Martin again coming back for his junior year, I think. So we'll see.
Caleb Williams, yeah.
Caleb Martin, yeah.
I think, I could see USC getting there. I think they should be able to get in. Last year they had their big chance, to get into the playoff.
Yeah.
I think it could have been completely different.
Yeah.
I do think though they sneak into a playoff, they might have the offense to really change things up. Kind of like Ohio State almost did at Georgia last year. So you never really know. I think that it's going to be really tough for Georgia to three-peat, but they have their schedule on their side. That's definitely a favor because their schedule is not tough. They're going to get a chance to have the SEC championship. They're going to get a chance to get into the playoff. So you never really know. But I definitely think Bama, you can't really count them out. And Florida State, as Pop says, Florida State, they have been putting together really good recruiting classes. I think that they're back to kind of make some noise too. That's kind of interesting.
True.
So Unc is rooting for them as well. But Anthony West says, look at those Big Ten teams, Washington and USC. It's so crazy to think that they're going to be in the Big Ten. Like it just doesn't really make sense. But we'll get used to it. We'll adapt. Anthony West in Mizzou snagged the number 3 overall recruit. That's what's up. I like Missouri so much. Like I really do root for them. And even though they're like a kind of a smaller school in the SEC, like they still compete really hard. So I root for the Mizzou too. So I'm with you there on Anthony. Unc says Caleb Williams will get drafted by the Cardinals. They will misuse his talent as well. The Cardinals just try to go get all of Lincoln Riley's ex-players, right?
Pretty much. Maybe hopefully Caleb has a better head on his shoulders than Kyler does.
Yeah, we'll see. But no, I think though Caleb Williams, he's gonna be out for blood this year. I think he's gonna go off this year a little bit.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, let's keep things moving. I think we got soccer next.
Oh yeah.
So definitely want to talk to soccer a little bit. We got the new news that Neymar is going to Al Hilal. So he is now the latest top flight European player to go to the Saudi League. The big deal is that the Saudi League has basically 4 teams that are like funded by the same people that fund Live Golf. And they're like going out for all the big players and really trying to just basically buy the best players in the world. Like as if you had Monopoly money, you had your own, like you could make your own franchise type of thing on Madden. Like they just go for it. But what do you think though? Do you think that this trend will really catch on and they can build a good league, or do you think it's just kind of like a gimmick?
I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things. Like, I mean, if you keep bringing over these like really big players, like it might, you know what I mean? But it's gonna be tough when you only have so many teams, and and like it's kind of I don't want to say who's watching these games because soccer is such a worldwide sport. It's not a U.S. sport, right? So like there probably are people watching these games. We're just not really able to really watch them, like others are. But like I don't know. I see how well Messi's doing, and I know we'll get to him soon. But it's
Mhm.
like I almost feel like if a team like uh, Miami can go and grab Messi, like they should be trying to get some of these starts too, because it's working wonders for them right now. Messi's killing it out there. They're like we've been seeing nothing but Messi everywhere. We haven't seen Ronaldo at all, Cristiano at all. We haven't seen Neymar at all until he got paid. You know what I mean? Like really, right now, soccer is all about Messi. And it was about Mbappe when they were talking about his $1 billion contract. But after he said no to that, now he's, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I think this could be the bigger wave, right? Like if they can, because Messi got a bunch of money too. Like he got hella paid too. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Not like those guys though, because they're
Right.
doing so much. That's why they offered him like stock too in the team and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Try to
exactly.
make up for that.
But yeah, man, I think I don't know. The Saudi leagues, it could catch on. I don't know if it does, but it could. But I like what Messi's doing, man. I think Messi made the right move for his career when he did what he did.
Yeah, no, I feel you for sure. Definitely Messi has been the bigger news, especially around here. He scored 8 times in 5 matches so far with the squad, and
Yep.
then they're doing big things. They keep having the comebacks and these dramatic wins, so it's definitely paying off for him. Alex says 2 years, 100 million, but that's the thing though. They paid 100 million just for the transfer fee. Neymar is going to get 2 years, 300 million.
Yeah.
So it's a total of 400 million, but 100 million is going to go to PSG for the transfer fee, and then he's going to get 2 years, 300 million. So that's 150 million dollars a year. That's so insane.
That's crazy.
So the money out there, that is, I mean, man, maybe for some of these guys, the lifestyle, like super lifestyles of the rich and famous type of thing, like living out there, like maybe, maybe that will catch on. But to me, that's really crazy. Unk asks, how good is Erling Haaland? He's really good.
He's really good.
He's really, really good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Their first game, I put him down for 2 goals, and he hit 2 goals. He's the first 2 goals, man. He cashed out for me mad quick, so he's really good.
Yeah, he is. But I do. It is sad though. Man City, their guy Kevin De Bruyne, he hurt himself, and he's gonna be out like 3 to 4 months, and he's really like a big key to Man City's attack. So we'll see how he does. Anthony West says, I think a guy in his prime like Mbappe going to one of those leagues would have to happen, man. And they tried to make it happen.
Yeah, they did.
They tried hard. But I guess, shout out to Mbappe for basically just turning that down. Like, he's like, nah, I'm good. But that would have been crazy amount of money. He probably wouldn't even felt safe, like, to go anywhere.
Exactly.
So, all right. But, yeah, that's some soccer news for us. What else we got? A little bit of golf. Justin Thomas actually missed the FedEx Cup, being able to participate in the FedEx Cup playoffs by 1 spot. The top 60 got to participate, and he ended up 61st. After the tournament a couple weekends ago. But I definitely wanted to mention our boy, and dang, now I just forgot his name. But our boy here, and I'll have to look up his name right now, but he's won the last 2 tournaments. And so he was actually like 102nd in the FedEx playoffs. He won the last tournament of the year to get into the FedEx playoffs, and now he won the first playoff tournament as well. So he's up to like 5th in the standings from 102nd 2 weeks ago. So that's super, super legit. But yeah, I wanted to talk golf and also to keep this thing going because our brother Marcus, he's not with us, but he loves golf. So we definitely gotta keep golf, in the rotation. And that's Lucas Glover, my bad, who's won now the last 2 tournaments and now shot up the FedEx playoff standings. But for him, it's crazy to think that like his money situation has dramatically changed, and now he has a chance at like $20 million in this next tournament and part of this big prize pool. So, shout out to him, man, getting hot at the right time. Congratulations to him. And they're also saying he might even make the Ryder Cup.
Yeah, so, definitely. That'd be dope.
Definitely. I think that's it, though. One other thing I did have on here is this Penn Entertainment and ESPN. We have a lot of time to talk about this, but something I want to definitely keep an eye on. And this is a merger, or basically ESPN is like Penn Entertainment is like paying ESPN to have the rights to their name and ESPN or Penn Entertainment is going to make basically a new sports book, but they're going to turn their sports book into, it's going to be called ESPN Bet.
Yeah.
And so they're paying them $1.5 billion over the next 10 years to basically have the rights and have access to their personalities to do like little drops and little pieces of footage for the sports book, and then also to have the ESPN Bet logo on, and all of their over-unders and all of their betting lines basically will be displayed across ESPN's family of networks. So really crazy deal to see, especially ESPN being owned by Disney, that they're getting into the sportsbook arena, and especially like at this level.
Yeah.
But I think it just goes to show like that's where the money is at, right? People are following the money. And over the last like 4 or 5 years, like sports betting has exploded one domino after another as, the more states become legal. And I can see it becoming legal nationwide soon. And that's why so many people are trying to get in on the early part.
Yep. Too much money to be made.
Too much money to be made. But while I was researching this, I actually did come across like these little slide decks. It was like a presentation that they had.
Yeah.
And I don't know what this was a part of or how I stumbled across it, but it was actually interesting. So I pulled out this slide because I thought it was pretty cool, but it's kind of talking about the merger and like what each side is going to be bringing to the table. I just took a look at this PowerPoint slide. I was like, dang, this stuff is crazy. So I tried to pull this one out just to let you guys know like that they're like really deep into this, and that the merger, is happening, but it will kind of slowly roll out. So I'll continue to try to be up on these PowerPoints so that we can figure out the latest news as it happens. But the last thing I do want to talk about too, real quick, is Maui. Lahaina, Maui. We definitely want to say prayers out. It's crazy to see this beautiful postcard and like this scene and like the way it has changed with the devastating wildfire out there. Definitely the people having to jump into the ocean, just basically drop everything, try to escape, and not having too much warning. It's super sad. And so I just definitely wanted to take a second to say prayers, man, for Maui, because that situation is just insane.
It's definitely is. Yeah, man. It's so unfortunate, man.
So with that though, I think we'll go ahead and wind this thing down. I don't want to leave it on a total downer, and I know it's too much of a switch up, but one more time too, we do want to say happy birthday to our boy. To be top model out here.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? So, happy birthday to our boy Strizzy though. You got anything fun planned that you want to share with us?
No, man. You know what I'm saying? Chilling. Ordered me a new Apple Watch.
Nice.
That's about it. But, figuring out where we want to go eat or whatever. So I'll probably get out of here and go get something to eat with the family. But, us, and I'll never really make my birthday too big of a deal.
Yeah.
August so much more about the kids now, Lily nowadays. But I do appreciate all the birthday love, though. I appreciate all.
Yeah, for sure, man. And when we get a chance to get together, for sure, got a little something for you. And definitely, it would be dope to just celebrate life, though. So definitely reflect on that and appreciate it, because you never really know. We never really know out here.
Blessed for another year, man. Blessed for another year.
Exactly. So appreciate you, my boy. And appreciate all the slackers out there rocking with us each and every week. We will be back soon. One more week closer to NFL football. We're definitely excited about that. We got Secure the Bag coming soon, so we'll have additional programming for y'all. And we're going to have our Pick'em League going up. So make sure that you guys are ready to participate in that, so we can start building out our Super Bowl squares super early. So that's what it is. Happy birthday one more time to my boy. And I'm going to go ahead and get ready to get us out of here. Anything else you want to end on, Strizzy?
No, man, that's it, man. So make sure y'all tune back in next Tuesday. Same time, same place.
That's what it is. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy.